All right, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with one of my besties from college. Her name is Kristine. You might know her as Buffy. I call her Mac and Cheese, and she is honest. So, moms, you are going to get all the tea from her. This is real. This is the SOR-EHS Podcast. It's where SHEroes meet. Moms literally are my SHEroes because we do it all. I mean, what can't we do? We put the weight of the world on our back and we keep rolling and we make it look fantabulous. Like, I see so many moms and I'm like, I don't know how y'all make it look so good, but y'all do. So without further ado, Buffy, thank you so much for being here. To get started, of course, boo. To get started, tell everybody how many kids you have and how old they are.
I have two children, actually three, including my husband, right? No, I got
That's
two.
true.
I have a 12-year-old and I have a 2-year-old. So
Okay.
huge gap.
Big 10-year gap. How do
Huge.
you how has that been for you in motherhood? Like having 10 years, so your oldest being 10 at the time, right? And then
Yes.
being self-sufficient, and she's the sweetest girl on the planet. I may be biased, but she's so sweet. So being self-sufficient, doing everything for herself, and then boom, here comes the boy. How has that been? How has that 10-year gap been for
Girl.
you?
So first of all, my daughter is literally I used to teach. So I used to teach as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
dealt with kids pretty much all my life.
Right.
My daughter is super nice, super calm, cool, collected, right?
Yeah, she
Has
is. She
always
is.
been.
She has
So
really.
literally. So I used to say, "Oh my goodness, there's no bad kids. Like, don't worry, they're not bad. They're just acting a little mischievous." And
Right,
girl,
right.
God was like, "Oh, here you go, my 2-year-old. Jesus, talk about the difference." So my husband and my daughter was actually praying for my son. I guess praying to God a year before he even came. I didn't even know when I got pregnant with him. I didn't even think I was pregnant. I literally thought I was one and done. My
Right,
husband was like, "No, you're pregnant." And I was like, "No, I'm not."
right.
Girl, we took the test. I'm pregnant. My husband had a prayer in his wallet that he had wrote down about having a son. My daughter was like,
Wow.
"Yeah, I've been praying for this." And I'm sitting there like weeping, only
Wow.
because not because I didn't want another child. I just for some reason knew it was going to be a lot. I just
Right,
knew it was going to be a lot.
right,
And I live in Michigan now. I don't live in St. Louis where I'm from, where my
right,
mother is. So when you have
right.
that mother there, oh my gosh,
Your
talk about the
tribe, your
difference.
tribe, right.
Oh my gosh, yes. So my daughter, her being 10 really helped a lot, honestly, because my
Mm,
husband decided he was going to go get his CDL license
mm.
and get a semi truck and get on the road as I'm having
Wow.
the baby. So my
Wow.
daughter actually really has been a help for me. She
Mm,
helps me with everything, which I try not to burden her too much, but she's just so sweet. And she's just like, "Mom, don't worry about it. I got it." When she just sees me overwhelmed. So for
right,
me, having that gap helped because I was able to nurture her, give her what she needed as just with our relationship. And then
right,
him, it's like I'm able to nurture him, give him his time when she's at school.
right.
Also, I found out as we did the orientation for middle school, right? Because she's
Mm-hmm.
in seventh grade now.
Right. I
So
can't believe
the
that.
administrator, oh my goodness, the administrators let us know that they are changing in these 2, 3 years of their middle school career. They change just as much as a child from 0 to 3. Those are actually the
Wow.
two time periods where kids change the most in their life. So I'm dealing
Wow.
with the
So you have
teenage
two
or
different,
preteen, yeah, and it's like
right,
it's
right. That's a
always it's
lot.
always something. Even though it's nothing, I'm Ubering, like I'm like her Uber. I
Right,
pick up, drop off, and then
right,
I have
right,
him. I'm
right,
also working. I also run companies and work from home. So it's like it's always
right.
something.
Right. Yeah, that's
Did I answer
huge.
your question? You know I
You
be going.
did. You did. So you had the big gap. Your daughter helped you out a lot because of her nurturing
Yes.
soul. So when you felt like overwhelmed in that moment, she was there to kind of swoop in and help you a little bit with your son. Which I think is
Yes.
huge because some people say like I don't want that big gap because it's like starting over. So in a sense, it was starting over for you, but you still had that help with your daughter as well to help you kind of get through that rough 2 year time
Girl,
of newborn
true.
to
And I had
toddler.
my daughter when I was 23. We had been
Okay.
married, I guess, 2, 3 years. So
Right.
having a kid at 23 versus 33, it's
Right.
just totally different, totally
Yeah.
different mindset, mind
Yeah.
frame. It's just
Right.
different.
Yeah.
It's a good
So
difference, but it's just different.
Let's get into that. How do you think your parenting style is different now that you're older versus when you had your daughter at 23? Like what's the biggest change that you've seen in yourself as far as like being a mom?
I'm not as uptight, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with my daughter, I was like, don't touch that, don't do this. And with my son, he's going to do it. It's like he's going to do what he wants to do. If I say don't go and eat this candy, he's going to get it anyway. So I have to calm myself down, be more patient, and not be as uptight. With my daughter, I didn't have to potty train her. I was working. My mom did it, or my mother-in-law did it. They did a lot that I didn't have to do. Now I'm in the stage where I got to do everything. I got to potty train. I got to, teach words, do different languages, all that stuff that I didn't have to do really because I had such a great support system when I was younger. Just because of my placement where I was at, I had my mom, my brothers, and they were like Mr. Nannies for me. They just, whenever I needed anything, they take her and they go,
Right. And that
now,
tribe is
not
so
so much.
important. That
Oh
tribe
my
is
gosh, it's so
everything.
important.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's everything.
Yeah.
So you're giving us a lot of gems right now. So I'm trying to like go back and comb through
Oh no,
and really
sorry.
highlight those gems. No, don't say sorry. It's good. So you said now as an older mom, you're able to not be so uptight. So help me because with my two kids, I am just like, and we're a little bit different because I had my kids kind of back to back. So they're like 2.5 years apart. So the uptightness that like spoke to me because I'm just like, no, don't do that and stop. And my, like I feel like I'm like frazzled. Like my hair is like could be out to here all day
Like
long.
mine, yeah, all the time, right?
I'm frazzled
I
all
get
the time. I try not to be, but I'm like a frazzled mess. So help us. How do you do that? How do you be not so uptight?
So you visited when Sir was, I think, like 15 months. He was like
Yeah.
15 months. He's calmed down a lot, but oh my gosh, y'all, he was just a lot all the time. And Jen, I felt so bad. Jen was visiting me, and I felt so bad because I'm like, I tap a kid, so his little hands was getting tapped. And Jen was like, no. I was like, girl, where he act up, I get him. So listen, he pulling on people blinds and curtains and stuff. No, we can't do that. So first of all, I had to realize. I was like, Jen's never gonna come visit me again.
I'm laughing because I'm very much the mom. I'm like, no, don't do that. She's like, stop.
Boy, sit down. So one, I had to realize he's literally, my first daughter was abnormal. Honest to God, like she just did not make a word. Like she just didn't make a peep at all. My son, he's a kid. They're kids. And when you get outside of America, so we travel a lot.
Right.
Outside of America, especially like I would like to say in the Middle Eastern countries, they treat their children like royalty.
Yeah.
Like the kids, like you talk about you tapping anybody, you in trouble. Like they don't play that. But the kids are so well mannered. They're so well behaved, and it's because they have understanding. They know how to go places and act, because I guess it's the nurturing and the love that they get. So I had got, honest to God, with my husband being on the road all the time, it's just me. Like it's literally, I'm like, first of all, who put me in charge of these kids? I don't even know what I'm doing. Half the time I'm calling my mom like, yo, what the heck? I'm calling I'm calling everybody because I don't know. My son's not like me. He's like my son. He's like my husband. My daughter takes after me, but so my husband can deal with my son. He says one thing and he sits down immediately, right? Not me. I had got so miserable. I mean, I already had struggled with depression a lot in my life. So I had just become so miserable because I was like, how did I get here? Like, I'm taking care of these kids by myself. I'm kind of like a single married woman because my husband is never here. He's working on the road. Plus, we're running 2 other companies. It's just a lot all the time. So I had to really take care of myself. I had to get to myself and say, hey, yo, check you, because they're getting everything from you. You got to get yourself together. What that looked like for me was waking up a little bit earlier, praying. I'm very, very Christ-centered, right? I won't say religious because we're not going to use that word, but I'll say I'm Christ-centered. I'm faith-centered. God is everything for me.
I love that.
I had gotten to a space where he wasn't, like, because I'm a mom. I'm doing everything. Everything's focused everywhere. I'm reading my Bible every day, right? I'm going to church, but it's not hitting.
Right.
So now I get in a space where like every morning, girl, I have to worship. I have to pray. I have to pray over my kid, myself, get into a good space before we even get in the car to go to school, right?
Yes.
On the way to school, we're listening to worship music. We're listening to sermons. The other day I woke up, my daughter, she's getting ready for school. She gets up like at 5 a.m. to get ready. And she has her worship music on. So I started noticing, like, okay, now we got a peace just in the morning. It's peaceful. When he wakes up, okay, I got a schedule for you. Maybe not for him, like he can't be scheduled all the time. But I know he's gonna want to wake up. He's want to get held, right? We don't do that enough here. We don't hold him. No, I'm gonna hold him because he needs my love.
Yeah.
And I just really focus on peace, a peace-centered life, just with everything. The road rage, girl, I used to have so much road rage just because everything was just, everywhere. So you can't even deal with people because you're trying to literally deal with your household, your family, right?
Exactly.
On top of bills, money, people, all types of stuff.
Right.
So I just had to really focus on self-care, self-love, go to the gym. I was like this mom kangaroo pouch. I hated it, right? I hated myself. I'm like, even though I understand it's not about the way but it is, right? It's about
how you feel, how you feel about yourself. Yes, exactly.
1000%. So I could not, I didn't have the capability to, my son is super not going to stay with anybody. So we can't go to a gym where he's going to stay and play with people. Girl, I got to the gym, my membership, my kids sit in the car right in front of me. My daughter's in the front. I only did it when he's napping. Or like when he's napping, I work out. So she's in the car doing homework. He's napping. I'm in the window watching him as I'm working out on the elliptical.
That's
and
huge.
Like just that commitment to myself, like saying, yo, you can do whatever you want. It's made me who I am. I'm so much more. I can deal with him. Girl, and anybody else got to like, it's okay. They're just kids. Just and I never thought that would be me. I thought if they don't get their kids, now I'm like, they're gonna be okay. He's just having a moment. Just let them relax. Just let them feel it out. They're learning. We're all learning.
They're people.
So
they're people. They're people.
Yes.
So let them have that moment. Yeah, self-check.
Yes, amen.
I love that. I love that. So, oh my gosh, like you're preaching to me. Literally, this is so good. That's why I wanted to have this podcast, because moms have so much inside of them, so many gems that they could share with other people. So one thing that I really just took away from what you just said is you wake up a little bit earlier to have that peace in yourself. So you wake up, you do your praying, your meditation, you're Christ-centered, and you make sure you have that time, that worship time in the morning.
Yep.
And that gives you the peace to start the day. So you're not, especially in the mornings, because the mornings are so hectic for most moms, because we're getting up, we're getting breakfast, we're getting backpacks, we're getting lunch, we're running out the door, we're trying to get to school on time. But if you get up a little bit earlier and you do your worship time and you have that time for me, that you pour into yourself first, then you can pour into your kids, then you can pour into your business. Because you also said, on top of being like a mom, your husband's on the road, you got businesses you run as well. So you're pouring into yourself, you're working out, which is huge. And listen, for those moms that are thinking about having another kid and you're worried about that gap, listen to what she just said. So she has 10 years between her kids. So her oldest is helping her watch the little so she can go and get a workout in. And I think that's a great way to use that to your benefit. If you have a responsible child, which your oldest child is like probably more responsible than me and you combined.
She's with me, girl. I don't even. She's
probably more responsible than both of us put together. She's just like the sweetest kid ever. So let's get into running a business. So you're running your business as well as being a mom, and your youngest one is. Would you say you're like a work from home mom? So he's with you, or does he go to school? How are you handling running a business with a little one running around? Because that's
when you ask me that, it's like I can't even think about how I'm. It's just happening, right? Because my husband, again, so my husband had a painting and building company.
Right.
I'm also a licensed contractor, so I have a construction company.
Okay.
His company's I was doing payroll before he even decided he was going to go get a semi and go on the road, right?
Right.
But so the company can basically, he has employees and they know everything to do. That's fine. But me having the extra step of having to go do payroll, take more and more appointments, do everything he can't do was so much. I had to take my son with me. So in the midst of me being pregnant, I went and got a real estate license too, because I was like, I gotta have something.
Listen, what can't we do? What can't we do?
Well,
Already overwhelmed.
girl,
Let me go get a real estate license too.
A real estate license. And it's because, first of all, we were going to be flipping houses. I'm like, well, I can't give nobody that kind of money, and I can do it, I can do
exactly. Why not?
So,
why not?
Yeah, it worked hand in hand. And then I knew I knew that my husband, God love him, I love my husband, right? Mm-hmm. So something's coming, because I'm prefacing with that.
Right. We're starting with I love my husband, but
we've been married 14 years, together maybe 17 years. So I know this man.
Right.
He's I knew I was going to have to take more responsibility just because I know him. So I was like, what can I do from home that's going to still bring me income that I can do with the baby? At the time, my mom has been in real estate over 30 years, so she's just always been on me about my license. You had your license,
right? I had mine for a few years.
We talked about it, and I was like, let me just do it. So I got that, and baby, my kids go with me. They go on appointments with me. Whatever I got to do, if I'm doing payroll, if I'm doing an appointment, if I might do it afternoon, or they can be in the car. They have their iPads, they're safe, it's locked. I made sure when I walked in the dealership for this vehicle, I said, I don't care about myself. Give me something for my kids that are going to be comfortable. Because I know how I work. We travel a lot. I do appointments every day, all day.
You're in the car.
So I knew I had to make a lifestyle around basically myself and what I could do, not depending on my husband as far as being present, as far as present period, because my husband works. Right. It's not even fake.
That's the thing.
Like, my husband will go do projects all day, and I might not even see my husband just when I wake up to cook him breakfast, and then maybe at dinner, maybe. Right. Or I might have something left for him. That's literally how he works before he even got on the road. So I just got accustomed to that. Right. And it made me schedule, it caused me to be a more scheduled individual. I meal prep. I make sure that they have everything, their snacks, everything is packed like to a T, to a max. Right. Because that's how I have to live. I have to be scheduled. I have to be on point.
Right. And that's huge. And I'm learning that now as a mom of two, just now. So my youngest one is now 1. I have to schedule. I feel like when I don't schedule things, it's back to Mrs. Frazzled. Like I am 1,000. A frazzled mess. And when I schedule things, when I schedule dinner, when I schedule when I'm going to go get the groceries or what I have my list, I'm able to have that like peace. I like that word. I'm able to have that peace. When I don't schedule things, I'm all over the place. So that's huge. So you built your business around your lifestyle, which I don't think a lot of people do that. So that's huge. You're like, I have a car that's going to be comfortable for my kids because I'm a realtor. I'm flipping houses. I have my license. I do payroll. I got to run around. I need something comfortable for them, but I'm going to take them with me. It's not going to be like, oh, who's going to watch my kids? I'm just going to take them with me and make it so that that's their lifestyle too. And then you're pouring into your kids as well, because they're able to see mom work. You know what I mean? So they're able to see mom do it all as well. And then, like I can do that too. If my mom can do it, why can't I do it? So you schedule your snacks, you have everything, you're organized, basically is what helps you, is staying very organized. Okay. Yes. Do you use a phone? Do you use a planner? Are you writing it down? What's your mode of organization?
Let me tell you, I took it all the way back to like the paper and pen. When I was like, I got so depressed, like before, I would say like in the summer, I just got to a part where I didn't even want to live. And it wasn't like I want to kill myself because I just hate life. It's like a thing where you just feel like everybody's so much better without you. Like I'm messing up. I'm not doing it right. I'm not enough. Right. And so for me, I took myself, I said, what is it that you like? What is it that you need? What is it that's going to make you be okay every day? Like happy to wake up. What's your gift? So I scheduled, I said, if I can do it for 90 days, I'll be okay. I can keep going because I know that habit is like 21 days. I said 90 days, you got to have it. So I scheduled from 5:30 a.m. every hour. You're going to get up, you're going to work out, you're going to stretch, you're going to drink your water, you're going to get her ready for school, make sure she's ready, drop her off, get him up. So I had every hour down to a T, like not playing, because that's what I had to do for me. Now, it's just second nature to get up and do all those things, right? And I don't feel like I'm missing anything because it's just, I'm used to it. Now I'm adding more stuff like, okay, well, how can I improve this? this lifestyle that I've created in like the
Right.
little 90 days that I did, right? But
Yeah,
just to
that's
see my
huge.
life change and just, um, again, it was focusing back on me because as long as I can remember, especially being married so long, I didn't even
Right.
know what I liked, right?
Right.
Like we're like, what do you
Right.
want to eat? I don't know what I want to eat because I really don't give myself the choice. I give everybody else the choice all the time. So
Right.
that's why I'm big on my kids. Like, no, what is it that you want? Whatever you want every day, we're going to figure that out and get to it. Because there's so many
Right.
of us adults, we don't know I don't know what I want. So I
Yeah.
had to get back
Yeah.
to what do I want? How do I want to live? What does life look like for me and my family? It
Right.
doesn't look, I'm so girl out of the box. Like I'm
Right.
nothing like society, like in
Yeah.
what I used to be, right? So I used
Mm-hmm.
to had to have my hair done, my nails done. Now it's like whatever. Like my
Right.
kids are okay, they
Yeah.
taken care of, they're clean,
Right.
everything's taken care of. Who
Right.
has time for that? Like if I'm,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get souls for God. Who got time to be worried about how I look?
Right.
So that's like
Right.
for me,
Right.
it's just my
Right.
mindset change.
Yeah. Yeah. So in that like spirit of depression, did you ever go to do like therapy or anything, or did you just go back to like the word of God and Christ centered? Did you reach out for help in that way? Because mental health for moms is huge because we can get
It's
lost in
huge.
motherhood. You literally can lose yourself. You're raising
Yeah.
other tiny humans. If you're married, you're worried about your marriage. If you have
Yeah.
friends, you try to nurture those friendships. Then you have your relationships with your parents, with your siblings. It's a lot. And then you're trying to take care of these little humans. So it's easy to get
Girl.
lost, and it's easy to fall into that depression and think people would be better off without us. And I think with Twitch, taking his whole life, suicide's huge. It was an eye opener for so many people.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many people pouring out love and support and saying, I was there and I pulled myself out of it. You can too. So I just want to kind of elaborate on what you said. So did you reach out for any kind of extra help with a therapist or anything, or how did you pull yourself out of depression? I know you said you started keeping Christ first, but is there anything else that you were able to share that maybe another mom that's listening who's in that deep depression right now can help start pulling herself out of it?
Right. So this is something I've struggled with just for
Right.
like literally forever. I mean,
Okay.
forever. So I've
Right.
been to
Yeah.
therapists. I've
Yeah.
I've done all of those things, right? And I
Right.
still got back to this place where I'm
Mm.
still feeling whatever this reason, like
Right.
I'm not
Right.
good enough or they
Right.
don't need me or whatever it is, right? Or just
Yeah.
low. You just
Right.
sometimes you just
Yeah.
don't feel,
Just slow.
can't get up,
Yeah.
you're wasting years. I couldn't get out the bed some days.
Right.
And you can't do that when I'm the responsibility for both of the kids. So it's like I'm getting out the bed. I don't even want to. I'm dragging myself.
Right.
I just started. I had to get back to a relationship with God, and what I mean by that is,
Mm-hmm.
girl, I started when I say I was getting up. I started listening. I got my podcast. I got
Mm.
about 4 or 5 or 6 different churches or ministers that I like that I listen to. I
Right.
would be listening to 4 or 5 sermons a day. Like
Right.
when I tell you,
Sure.
I was like, I just knew I had to get with God.
Mm.
I didn't know how or why or what. I just knew this is the only way I'm going to get the help I need, the love and whatever
Amen.
I'm missing.
Amen.
And so
Mm-hmm.
from me,
Mm.
literally getting into that, really just the word of God, the spirit, constantly worship music, praise music. And now I can't even listen to certain songs. And it's not because it's better or nothing like that. It's just like Sam Smith. I love Sam Smith, right? His
Mm-hmm.
voice is velvet, but he's singing
Right.
about being unholy. And I'm like, oh
Right.
God, I
Yeah.
can't sing that because I gotta
Right.
stay holy. It's like
Because I
every
am
single thing that can
holy.
take me off, I'm not even
Yeah.
dealing with it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you
Yeah.
got a problem? I love you. Gotta move over this
Right.
way. Like I can't even get
Right.
into none of
Right.
that. And
Right.
then when I can't, I know how to deal with it.
Right.
When it's necessary and it's all with the love of Christ. The old girl, the old me. Like my
Right.
dad is a UFC legend.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
the first UFC. So talk
Yeah.
about self-defense. I know how to fight and hey, yo, like I'm small, but I'm mighty as far as
Right.
my fighting
Amen.
methods. I can fight,
Right.
but I
Right.
don't need to, like God
Right.
literally, girl, when I tell you I saw my life change just in myself, just in
Mm.
how I treat even my husband when I can't stand them. But I've been
Right.
doing that for 15 years, right? But now that
Right.
it's such a peace about it, right? It's
Mm.
just like, girl, he gonna be okay. Let him go about.
Right.
It used to be like, you okay, but I'm holding on to it, right? No,
Right.
go about your business. I'll see you later,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just so at peace,
Mm.
and it's literally me taking my time and dedicating it to God. And what I fast on Tuesdays. I got a prayer list so long, and people don't even know I'm praying for them. But people might call or say something, and they might be going through something. I just add them to my little list. My prayer list so long now, and
That's huge.
I literally consecrate and dedicate my time to God, and I can't express how big that is. I start looking at how much I'm not even on social media, right? Like technically I'm not.
She's really not.
But I'm kind of like you can get caught up scrolling, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I start seeing how much I'm even scrolling.
Right.
I don't watch TV, so I'm like, where's my time going? Well, I can put this time to God. When I start doing stuff like that and just listening to different people, different perspectives, it heightened me as a person. So that's what I mean when I say get back, like whatever it is for you. I like fashion now, right? So I'm making kids clothes, stuff I never thought I would do. It's just God really will show you yourself.
Yeah.
So for me, that may not be for everybody, but for me, it's literally just God and Jesus.
Yeah, and that changed your life. And I think the
1,000.
theme of this episode is peace, because I just hear peace resounding in this episode time after time. So I'm about to name it the peace episode.
Yeah.
Because I think, for those of you that are looking for something, hey, if you are looking for something, turn your life over to God. Put God first. Find that peace. You might be searching, and you search high and you search low, and you cannot figure out what you're looking for, and then all of a sudden
boom,
God shows up in your life in a major way. And you just said something huge. You said it changed the way you deal with your husband. It probably changed your business. It probably changed how you are a mom. Just gave you God gave you so much peace, and I think that's huge. And you also said something else that's big that I think people need to listen to as well. Watch what you're pouring into yourself. Whether it's the music 1,000%. That you're listening to, whether it's the TV shows that you're listening to, social media, because social media will make you feel like you aren't crap. Okay, it'll make you feel like even though you are happy as can be, you get on social media
and gorgeous and
beautiful inside and out. You start seeing what other people have, and then all of a sudden you're wanting what other people have when you have it all, and you don't even realize how much you really do have. And a lot of it is fake, because it is a highlight reel of people's lives. We are showing you the best of the best. We're not showing you the nitty and the gritty. We're not showing you that ugly side at 2:00 in the morning when we're crying our eyes out because of whatever happened. So I just think that's huge. If you're looking for something, God is always there for you. Pour into yourself first. Make sure you wake up with gratitude. Watch what you're pouring into your soul. Before we get off of here, because I think we have like 8 more minutes of this podcast episode, what is the biggest advice that you could give to any mom in any season? What's one thing that's helped you that you can just take some time, however many minutes you want, and just pour into a mom? Like, what do you think would be helpful, or what's the biggest advice you could give to a mom right now?
Okay, so take care of you first, right? Like, we hear it, we say it, we don't do it. Like, literally, whatever it is, that extra. Yeah, I come and sit in the car sometimes. If I just have to get away, I sit for a second just to like breathe. Figure out figure out what it is you like, what you love, what's going to keep you going. I remember watching, I admire Carolina Herrera. She's a designer. And it's because she used to, I got married young, super young, 21.
Yes, so I remember that day.
She got married young, and she had her kids first. And she said, I had my kids first, but then I was able to go and do what I wanted to do after I raised my kids. And I always admired that about her, because I was like, well, I can have my kids still and do whatever. Because it's so hard. It's so hard to get trapped, because you're a mom. That's 1,000 things before you work and before you're anything else, right? Yeah. So that's the first thing. Each kid is different. I can't express that enough. Like, kid is different. Each kid needs a different type of love, a different type of discipline. Like, they're just different. And think about that made me be easier on my parents, who got divorced when they were young. They got married young, they got divorced, but they were kids. Now I can say, man, I'm older than them now, and I still don't have it. So just give everyone grace. Give yourself grace. Give yourself love. Like, I used to talk so bad to myself, but now, I cut it off immediately. Give yourself love. My stomach, I'd be like, oh, yuck. No, I carried life in
Yes.
there.
Right.
Like my kids, when they come lay on me, they come lay on my flubby stomach, and that's what their favorite part. I'm like, what the heck? Like,
Right.
just if you
Right.
could just love, like those little intricate, ugly things are the most beautiful things I'm finding. Like
Yes.
now that I'm really, and I've always been in church. I want everybody to know that I've always been super like. I used to be in church 7 days a week. Like,
Yeah.
it's not about that. It's literally about
Yes.
the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, are you talking to God? Are you having just like me and Jen are having this conversation? It
Right.
seems so stupid. Yeah, I have my seatbelt sometimes, and I have it like buckled because I'm like, Jesus, you rolling with me today. So, like,
Yes.
literally, whatever it
Yeah.
is you have to do
Yes.
who cares what people think? Do what you have to do to
Right.
get where you need to be, and get happy and have love and give that to your kids. Like,
Right.
literally, that's what I say. I did not
Right.
know what the heck was happening. Like, I was like, Jesus,
Right.
I can't
Help
do this.
me. Help me.
He
Help me,
jumping off
Jesus.
the dang on couch all the time. He always messing with the toilet. Like, what the heck? Just
Right.
crazy stuff that I'm not used
Right.
to.
Right.
So, but I love him. He's a light, right? He's the light of my life. My kids, I
Yes.
love them. So each kid
Right.
is different. Each kid
Yes.
needs their own love. That's all I can
Yes.
say. And them
Yes.
husbands or wives, it could go either way. But yo, just
Yes,
let them
man.
be. It's gonna work
Yes.
out. Just let them be. Let them have them, and just go about your business, and just get to you a place where you can pray or talk to whatever it is you need to do. Take a walk. I'm telling y'all, don't fight in front of them kids. Like, I had
Right.
to learn that so much.
Yeah.
Don't fight, don't argue. Just like, just let them be. That's
Right.
all I can say. Like, just try to be at peace. And the only way you can be at peace is if you're at peace with yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Yes.
literally.
Yes, yes. You literally just poured into me, and here I am starting this podcast. I'm like, I'm gonna help everybody else. And now, after this is the first episode, and I literally feel like you just poured so much into my
Shut
life
up,
that
girl.
I'm about to go back and re-listen to this. I'm so serious, and I know I have to
Shut
wrap up,
up.
and I'm gonna try to wrap up as much as I can. But peace, look for that peace in your life first. Seriously, find peace wherever you find peace. Get peace moms first, because that's going to change how you mother. That's going to change how you have your relationships. And then let people be, let your spouses be. I think that's huge. Sometimes we get so hung up on how somebody else is acting.
Man,
And then
girl.
that affects how we act, and that affects how we are going to be
Come
a
on
mom.
now.
Let them be. Give yourself grace. Give your parents grace. I heard you say that. Like, sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, well, why were my parents like this? Well, look at what you're going through as a mom now. Now you probably understand your parents a lot more. So give yourself grace, give other people grace, give your parents grace, and just continue to walk your life, but find your peace first and put yourself first. I think that was like the resounding message that I got from you, and that was huge. And I met Buffy in gospel choir, just so that you guys know. And this is how she's been since I met her. She's like the sweetest soul. So when you see her kids and you wonder why her kids are so sweet, it's because the mom is the sweetest thing ever. But it's true. I mean it. I love you so much. Thank you so much for taking time to be on this podcast. I'm so excited for the world.
I was like,
to
why
hear
did she want me on here? Why did she asking me? Thank you.
Do you
so
see
much
why
for
I'm
edifying
asking
me.
you? No, because you just poured into my life. So, like, seriously, I'm like, I'm at a point now in on my motherhood journey where I'm just like, I've got to change something because I'm going crazy. Like, these kids are driving me nuts. But I think you just poured into me of what I needed to hear, you almost like gave me permission to put myself first. And it's like you said, you hear it, you hear people tell you that, right? We hear it all over the place. Even my mom's like, take time for yourself, but you sometimes just don't do it because you get lost in motherhood. But what I got from this episode is like, no, go back to pouring into yourself, and it's going to make you a better mom. And I think that's...
Plus, one more thing. That doesn't mean go to the spa. That doesn't mean, go shopping. That means go find something you like. Find a neighborhood or a lake and walk around it. Like, small things. So, because we all don't got money, right?
Right,
I just have to say that because we always think self-care is like hair and all. No,
spending all that money. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Just find something that you're passionate about, that you love to do, and do it. And do it. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. This is the place where SHEroes meet. It's the SOR-EHS Podcast, guys. And I will see you guys on the next episode.